I haven't seen such a fine hot spring since before I left Inazuma. I've missed this. I got into the habit of taking a dip every day after work back when I still lived there. It's something I still enjoy. Although in Fontaine, I'm limited to the humble bathtub in my home. I'm gonna go ahead and jump in. Is there anywhere to put my clothes? Or shall I just fold them up and leave them on the ground? This was my favorite sight when I first moved to Fontaine. And now, it's one I get to see every day as I walk through the streets. Here, on these dazzling streets that seem to go on forever, the first corner of the Chiori fashion kingdom has been established. I will work hard to expand its territory over the coming years. In the meantime, you're always welcome to drop by for a visit. You're here. I sort of assumed that you didn't make it home very often. So, how are the travels going? Anything exciting happened lately? Your stories might be just the inspiration I need. It's pretty good. Pleasant scenery, calm atmosphere, good place to rest and rejuvenate your body and mind. Sometimes, when I get sick of being in the court of Fontaine, I get a strong urge to head off somewhere else for a while and get a change of scenery. Somewhere without unruly customers or tabloids spreading lies. Yeah, loads. It was a long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine after all. The wines and ballads of Mondstadt, the prosperous commercial hub that's Liyue Harbor, the bustling Grand Bazaar and the never-ending desert in Sumeru. I've seen it all. One thing I'd like to do was head to the liveliest spot in town, find a seat, and just sit there people-watching all day. I wanted to get a sense of the local atmosphere, see the clothes people wore, imagine what kind of lives they lived. I sometimes feel like, to this day, most of the inspiration for my designs still comes from the things I saw back then on my travels. You, of all people, probably get what I'm talking about. Look at me. Chat about anything for long enough and I'll always find a way to make it about work. I guess it's a deeply ingrained habit of mine. I'm always on the lookout for inspiration, and every aspect of daily life is a potential source. Anyway, basically, I love traveling. Maybe one day our travel plans will overlap, and we'll bump into each other somewhere out there. Somewhere I've never been before. That's the only way I can find new inspiration. You know what? I've never been to Notlan or Snezhnaya. Maybe it's time to make some travel plans. Every nation has a completely different fashion sense, rooted in its unique culture. I have to keep incorporating new styles, adapting them, combining them, and innovating. That's the only way Chiori Boutique can continue to stand at the forefront of fashion. Look at me. This one is for the books. A lot of people avoid chatting with me whenever they can help it because they don't like what I have to say. The truth is, I just prefer it when people can cut to the chase and be straight with one another. The amount of effort some people put into beating around the bush and being diplomatic, ugh. It'd be so much quicker to just hash it out and be done with it. What about you? What's your preferred communication style? Excellent. That'll save us a lot of trouble. I remember one time when I saw a customer hesitating between two different colored outfits. I told her that she should pick the cream-colored one, since it went well with her hair and also accentuated her figure. She turned her nose up at that, and said that the stains would show up more on the cream one than the gray one. So, I said, sure thing. If you're set on the gray one, I can make some adjustments so it'll look more stylish. But she didn't like that idea either, and she started saying that maybe the gray was a bit too dull. We went back and forth like that for a whole afternoon. In the end, she picked a red one. I mean, I do understand where she was coming from. Her concerns were valid, it's just... people like that, they need to learn to prioritize between criteria when they're making a decision. If you want something that goes with your figure, pick the cream. If you want to get away with a few smudges and stains, pick the gray. But if what you really want is to stand out from the crowd so your crush will spot you as soon as you arrive at the party, then for goodness sake, just tell me that as soon as you walk through my door. I'm getting all worked up just thinking about it. I need a moment to calm down. You're right. She was hesitant about telling me. But if she'd just been direct with me, we could have saved so much time. And then I would have been able to do a better job of tailoring her outfit to suit her needs. Things like that happen all the time. It makes me all the more determined to never beat around the bush and always be upfront and direct. Sure, it might not have been the smartest approach, but for me at least, it's definitely the most efficient. All this is to say that I will never hide my true thoughts and feelings from you, and I'd like it if you could do the same for me. Of course, if you ever find yourself compelled to say something like, Chiori Boutique's outfits are hideous, then I'd hope you at least follow it up with some sort of reasoned argument that I can consider. You don't seem like the type of person who'd say something just to be provocative. Unless, I don't know, you secretly enjoy the feeling of being thrown out my front door or something. Ugh, you do? Well, I just find it a headache. Maybe it's because I always have a clear and firm opinion on things. My feelings are never ambiguous. Either I like something, or I don't. Do you have any Hagoita here? I could go for a round or two against you. Hey, what's that look supposed to mean? Don't think I'm good for anything beyond sewing and stitching, huh? I played it all the time when I was growing up in Inazuma. I was actually one of the best players around. But no one knows how to play in Fontaine. And playing with beginners just feels, I don't know, kind of unfair to them. You must have played it during your travels in Inazuma, right? I bet you're pretty good. Well, you game? Oh, don't tell me you're scared. Yeah, that's more like it. There's the traveler everyone talks about. Just so we're clear, I will definitely exercise my bragging rights if you lose. We can start whenever you're ready. I've got my own pair of Hagoita that I can use. There's nothing in the rules that says you can't use two. I use twin blades in combat. What's so strange about using twin Hagoita? You can go ahead and use 4 Hagoita against me if you want. I don't mind. Unless... oh, you'd rather forfeit right now? Oh, don't you worry about that. Even though the Chiori brand is all about never admitting defeat, I have no problem with accepting a loss in a game between friends. On one condition, of course. You have to actually beat me first. Oh, you want to raise the stakes, do you? Fine by me. That'll make this much more fun. If you lose... you come out at my store for a few days. You can do some sweeping, organize the outfits, maybe do a little modeling. And if I lose, I help out at your place instead. It's up to you. I can sweep the place or maybe do some decorating. Another day gone. How time flies. I'm gonna take another look at my pattern pieces. Go get some rest. No need to wait up for me. Morning. I'm still waking up. Need to make myself some coffee. Mind if I borrow your kitchen? I promise I'll clean up afterwards.
你来啦，还以为你平时不常回家。旅行如何？有什么精彩的事发生了吗？说不定能为我提供灵感。 你这有鱼子板吗？想和你来打几场？你脸上的表情是怎么回事？该不会在你心中，我只会坐在工作台前缝衣服吧？小时候在稻期场玩，当时可没几个孩子能赢我。结果到了枫丹之后，没人会玩，教新手打又觉得像在欺负人。你在稻期的时候应该玩过这种游艺吧？想必身手不赖。怎么，难不成你怕了？好，来认真的。好呀，有点代价才好玩。要是你输了，就来我店里打几天工吧，打扫店铺、整理衣服，偶尔当模特。要是我输了，就随你开一个差不多的条件，打扫你的家，或者做点好看的东西帮你装点一下什么的。准备好就开始。我用自己的2只鱼子板，规则没说不能用2只呀。我平时用双刀，现在用2只鱼子板也很正常吧？你要是想的话，用4只来和我打都行，我没意见。还是说，这就已经准备认输了？放心，虽然千枝这个品牌的理念是永不认输，但对朋友，我可不会耍赖。前提是，你能赢过我。